Hello, grade 9. So here we are solving four-step equations, which means that x will be on both sides. This is the final step. So once you've got this, you've learned them all. So here's what you'll notice is when we have an equation like this, we'll have x not only on the left, but also on the right. It's very simple. What you want to do is you want to get x on one side. And I always just tell students, you know what, put x on the left side. Get all your x's on the left side and get your numbers on the right side. Okay, so for example, if I want x's on the left side, notice that I have an x on the right side. I don't want this 2x. I don't want it here, so I want to get rid of it. How do I get rid of a positive 2x? I have to add its opposite, minus 2x. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Okay, so I've done that. This cancels out, right? Perfect. Now, I want to get the numbers on the right side. What I mean by numbers is the number that's kind of all by itself. Yes, this is a number, but it's kind of attached to an x. It's a coefficient, we call it. So not talking about these numbers. I'm talking about the numbers that are all by themselves. So I want to get rid of this because it shouldn't be on the left side. Numbers are only on the right side. So add its opposite to get rid of it. So I add 4. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Now you notice one thing I've done. When I get rid of x's on one side, when I subtract 2x, I always want to make sure I put it underneath the x. When I add 4 to get rid of this will be now gone. I want to make sure I always add the 4 underneath its other number. So I kind of line them up, right? So I'm left with 7x minus 2x, which is 5x, and 8 plus 4 is 12. So 5x equals 12. Look how simple that is. This is a one-step equation now here. So divide that by that, divide both sides by 5, cross it out. You get x equals 12 over 5, which is improper, so we make that 2 2/5. That's the value for x, right? So you can see this is actually not a very difficult step. So here we have left side, right side. We have x's here and here. What I got to do first is whenever I see a number outside of brackets, it means multiply. Not only do I multiply 5 times x, I multiply 5 times negative 7. And 6 will multiply 3x and also positive 4. So I'm going to get here 5x negative 35 equals 18x add 24. So now what I want to do is I want to get rid of, I don't want x's on this side. So I want to minus 18x. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Notice how I line 18x with the 5. Cross those out. Now here I have a negative 35. I don't want numbers on the left. I want numbers on the right, so I got to get rid of this. So I do the opposite, add 35. Whatever I do to one, I do to the other. Cross those out. Right, so we're left with 5x minus 18x. That is negative 13x equals 24 add 35. That's 59. Right, so I want to divide both sides by negative 13. Whatever I do to one, I do to the other. Cross out those negative 13s. I got x equals 2. That looks like it's reduced. I just want to put the negative up with the top number. So negative 59 over 13. That can actually be written as a mixed number, which is 4 and 7/13 negative. That is how you do that, right? What do we do when we have this? Well, we learned in a previous lesson that when we have numerator, denominator, separated by equals, we can cross multiply. Those two, numerator multiplies opposite denominator, numerator multiplies opposite denominator. Cross multiplying. So again, when the 2 multiplies 3x, it also multiplies the 1. And here 4 will multiply 3 and also the 2x, right? So here we should have 6x plus 2 if I multiply these two. And if I do the other, that'll be 12 plus 8x equals 12 plus 8x. Okay, now we have X is only on the left, right? That's what I want, but I have here's an 8x. I want to get rid of that. So I want to do the opposite of positive 8x, so negative 8x. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. Put it directly underneath the 6x. Cancel those out, 0 pair. Now I want to do the opposite of adding 2 because I want to get rid of this. No numbers on the left side. Opposite, negative 2. Whatever I do to one, do to the other. Line them up, cross them out, right? So we are left with 6x minus 8x is negative 2x equals to 12 minus 2, that's 10. We divide both sides by negative 2. Cross those out, we get x equals negative 5. Final answer. Okay, this one over here. Just want to rewrite this question. Whenever we see 1/3 x and 1/6 x, we like to move that x, like to bump it up and move it right next to the 1. And in fact, the 1 just kind of, it doesn't really do anything, so we actually take it away. Same here, the x will move up to the 1, so it's 1x, but we don't really need to write 1x. We can just say here, x over 3 minus 1/2 equals x over 6. Okay, so we rewrite the equation to look a little neater. Now, from a previous lesson, what I need to do is I look at all the bottom numbers and I try to find the lowest common denominator. What number do they all go into? Yes, they all go into 18, but they actually all go into 12. So I'm going to multiply every part. This, and this will all be multiplied by 12. 12 over 1, 12 over 1, 12 over 1. Now I look for bikini numbers, right? So looking here, when I'm multiplying, I have a 3 on the bottom, 12 on top. These are bikini numbers. They both divide by 3. So that's a 1, that's a 4. Bikini numbers both divide by 2. That's a 1, that's a 6. These both divide by 6. That's a 1, that's a 2. When I do this, I get a brand new equation, no fractions. So here I have x times 4 over 1 times 1, which is just 4x. This is a takeaway. Here, this is 1 times 6 over 1 times 1, so minus 6, equals, here, it's 2x over 1, which is just 2x. Okay, so here I have x's. I only want x's on the left side, right? So let's just follow that. So I want to get rid of this. So when I minus 2x from one side, got to minus it from the other side, right? So these cancel out. Now don't forget, when you cancel it out, I've got 0, right? 2x minus 2x is 0. So 0 is equal to 2x minus 6. Now, I want to get 2x by itself, so I want to add 6 to both sides, canceling those out. So I get 2x is equal to 0 plus 6 is 6. Now I divide both sides by 2, cross that out, x equals 3. Okay, and that's the final answer there. Now, just to show you, there's actually another way to do this one, because it really doesn't matter if you want x's on the left. You can actually have x's also. As long as the x's are on one side, the numbers are on the other side, right? So right here, when I had 4x minus 6 equals 2x, something else I could have done is, let's keep the x's on the right side. Let's get rid of the 4x. So minus 4x. Whatever I do to one, I do to the other, right? So cross that out. So I get negative 6 equals negative 2x, right? Now I divide both sides by negative 2. Divide that by negative 2. Cross that out. I get x equals to 3. So 3 equals x. X equals 3. Same answer, right? No matter which way you do it. If you keep x's on the left, or whether you keep x's on the right, as long as they're on opposite sides, it doesn't matter, it will work. I generally just try to stick with keep x's on the left, and students seem to remember that pretty well. Okay, here we go. Let's just do really quickly here. I want to rewrite. This is a mixed number. I want improper fractions, and I want an x to move up with the top number. So this is going to be 3x over 2 plus a quarter equals to 4 times 2 is 8. 9. Put the x with the 9. 9x over 4 minus 5 over 2. Right? Now, we look at bottom numbers. What do they all go into? 4. Times them all by 4. Times 4 over 1. Times 4 over 1. 4 over 1. 4 over 1. Look for bikini numbers. There they are right here. 2 and 4. That's a 1. That's a 2. They both divide by 2. These are 1s. These are 1s. That's a 1. That's a 2. Rewrite the equation. 3x times 2 over 1 times 1, 6x. Plus 1 times 1, 1 over 1. That's 1. Equals 9x minus 10. Right? So I think you can understand what to do, right? We want to keep x's on one side, so we minus 9x. Whatever do to one, do to the other. I want to add 1. I don't want to add 1. I want to subtract 1, both sides, right? 0 pair, 0 pair. We got negative 3x equals negative 11. Divide both sides, negative 3. Cross that out. We get x equals 2. 11 over 3, because the negatives kind of negate each other. 11 over 3, or 3 2/3. Final answer. Okay? And you can see here, move that x plus 2 up with the 3. We get 3 bracket x plus 2 over 4 equals, put that x up with the 2, 2x over 3. Can I cross multiply? Yes, I can. So 4 times 2x, 8x. 8x equals 2. 3 times, if you remember from a previous lesson, this 3 will only multiply this 3, leaving that. So we get 9 bracket x plus 2. Okay, so here, I still got to multiply this 9 by this x and this 2. 8x equals 9x plus 18. And I think from here, you can probably figure it out as I'm running out of time. Anyways, I hope that helped you with solving 3-step equations, and I hope you've learned something. Good luck.